There is a brand new member of the House of Representatives, someone who lied about his work history, about his education, about who he is as a person, George Santos, if that's even his real name. During roll call, it seemed like he was non-responsive to it. Let's watch.
Santos. Santos. Sarbanes. Jeffries.
It seems like he got skipped because he had to be reminded by his colleague next to him that his own name was being called. If someone calls your name in a room of people, usually you hear it. Sometimes we even hear something that sounded kind of like our name but wasn't our name. So is his last name really Santos? Is his name George Santos? I don't know. We do know he's had a very rough first week in Congress. He got lost in the Capitol as reporters tried to get a comment from him. He ends up hitting a dead end and having to turn around with a swarm of reporters around him. Let's watch that.
Do you have any statements to your constituents? Do you have any statements to your constituents?
Are you Sandy, are you copying your position? Are you copying your position, sir? Sir, are you copying your position? Sir.
Any comments from the protest happening outside of your office?
Surely the reporters know their way around the Capitol. If you're a DC correspondent, they probably knew he was walking in the wrong direction. They just let him go. No one was going to correct him. It's kind of sad, though, that he's got no one on his side. Here's a photo of him taking a seat in the back of Congress while the other members were mingling. He's just sitting alone on his phone there. It's kind of sad. Reportedly, another member of Congress went up to him to try and chat. Then when he introduced himself by the name George Santos, they ran away. No one wants to be associated with this guy for good reasons. He lied on his resume, right? He lied to the people. He was asking to vote for him so he could represent them in Congress, but still seeing that photo, I feel kind of bad for the guy. We have another amazing video of George Santos on the floor of Congress, staring down the barrel of a C-SPAN camera. It's giving The Office. Let's watch that. I feel like he has to know what he's doing there. Like, is it all a bit? Is it all a joke? Jackson, what do you think?
I mean, the symbolism in this segment is beautiful because he's like walking down the hall and he goes to a dead end because there's like nowhere left for him to go. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing left that he can do. And then, him like, oh, I forgot my name. Like that is like the epitome of who he is. He's not the man. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not the guy. And, I don't know if he thought that this was going to lead to anything positive. I don't know what he was thinking at all. Because, again, the level of lying he did is not typical, isn't normal. It's not because so much of what he lied about is so easily verifiable. So he's really of no use to anybody. Nobody wants to be associated with somebody like that. What are you going to do with somebody that is unpredictable in every way besides absolutely nothing, besides shun them? But that's the bet he made for himself.
Yeah, there's something about George Santos where he just has this childlike energy. He seems kind of clueless. Like he absolutely does not have that dog in him. If there's one thing we know about George Santos, he doesn't. You look into his eyes and he kind of reminds me of like a puppy dog. But puppies do things that are bad all of the time. Like it's hard for me to take who he is as a person seriously, but what he did is objectively terrible. Like to lie to people when you're running for office and then to win the seat and say, you know what, I'm gonna keep my seat because people lie all the time. Like he told people his mom died on 9/11. Like his lies are just so extensive. And then to say, I know I said I was Jewish, but I meant I was Jew-ish.
Sorta, kinda.
It has to be it absolutely has to be a bit.
Well, unfortunately for him, he did it in the public spotlight. He could have kept it low key because, reports have come out about him basically doing stuff like this his whole life which people like him tend to do. You know, like if you look at people like Charles Ponzi, you know, like he was doing that his whole life until it landed him in a situation he couldn't get out of. So oftentimes people who are that type of pathological in any type of negative way, it's who they are. They can't really do anything else. Not to say that he's above help, but I wouldn't want to be the physician in charge of that.
It's like the perfect storm of American politics. It's just that usually the guys we get elected to Congress that have been committing fraud again their entire lives are usually like big businessmen. Like I think that's the only difference. Is like he's fraudulent in more petty ways than the usual suspects.
Exactly. He's fraudulent in ways that really don't make sense. You know what I mean? Like most people are fraudulent in ways that it's still there's a means to the end. You know, but he's totally incompetent.
He's just doing it for fun. Just very chaotic, neutral vibes from George Santos.
Yeah, well, he got his notoriety. If that's what he was looking for, he got it.
There you go. Here we are talking about you on TYT, George.